Stand by for action. Anything can happen in the next half hour.
Good evening, welcome along. It's Friday night, 7 o'clock. It's Friday night special. And coming up tonight, what a mixture of aircraft we have. Starting off with a couple of clips from Odium. You may recall a couple of weeks ago we did a live show from Odium. What it was the Fabulous Day, and turned out to be a really beautiful sunny afternoon. Started off cloudy, but hey, gave us the opportunity to actually see a Chinook display, and also we had the Red Arrows Typhoon display, the Blades, and also a Spitfire display. But coming up this evening, a big old mixture of aircraft. We've got so much coming your way. Hey, don't you dare go anywhere. As always, great to have your company. And hey, keep on buying the tea. Just before we go into the next item, let's have a quick word with our good friend. Hey Tony, what have you got to say?
Tony Prince.
That's me. How you doing?
All right.
This is your royal ruler, Tony Prince, and hi there. Watching the Airshow World with Stu Bear.
Hey, coming up for you next, what are we going to do? Just the other day, we were at Little Gransden Airshow, and just watch some of this fantastic flying coming up for you right now from the Global Stars. Absolutely brilliant. Enjoy this.
we're leading them through their paces in this incredibly tight Diamond 4 formation. It's especially beautiful. The formation's remarkable because you've got aeroplanes of very slightly differing performance.
Yeah.
The high, the mid-wing and the low-wing aircraft perform slightly differently. So to get them to fly as tightly as this is quite remarkable. Shows the skill of the individual pilots beautifully.
Yeah, definitely, and also 70 horsepower between the least and most powerful of the 4 aircraft in the formation, adding to that challenge. Pulling up into a very big, very graceful barrel roll, and out of this, I expect to see them changing into another formation that they call Swan. And changing now into Trail formation.
Are they backtracking, Daniel? Are they
Getting into a close line astern. There he goes, creating a really beautiful shape in the sky. At the tail of that trail formation. Ready for the break. Go, calls Mark Jeffries, and they split apart.
I think many of you who are regular attendees at Little Gransden are used to seeing the global stars and used to seeing Mark Jeffries perform. But please don't become just to say, well, it's just another. It's not. This is pretty special. 4 dissimilar aeroplanes, 4 superb pilots, and a really superb performance of aerobatics at its best.
And one that, as the team's name suggests, has been seen and enjoyed all over the world on some of the very extensive overseas tours they did, we have to say, before COVID set in, and which I'm sure they'll be doing again.
Indeed, I think they're going to be on their travels again in the next few months. But they've certainly, to my knowledge, have been to China 3 times, Mongolia, India, and other destinations, Hong Kong, I think, for the bridge opening. They just travel all over the place, and they're in such demand because of the outstanding level of performance they offer.
And again, as we were saying with the wing walkers earlier, it's just not a type of display that a lot of people in those countries will necessarily see on a regular basis. We're rather blessed here, aren't we, with lots of top-level acts, but there isn't such an air show scene in those countries.
No, we are very fortunate. We take some of it for granted, and necessarily we just shouldn't do it. But when you take a group like the Global Stars overseas, the Chinese, the response was phenomenal. And the crowd lined up, just stand and applaud as they come back in. And they were doing 2 or sometimes 3 performances a day for different TV slots, and it was relentless in hot weather. But they soldier on.
Very experienced glider pilot Chris Heames As Mark rolls around their smoke trails, watch the rejoin. Straight into box again. And that's an excellent example of the sort of management that's required by the leader of a formation, isn't it? To enable the boxman to get so smartly back into formation.
Well, they don't call him leader for nothing. He does lead the team and puts everything where it should be, flying perfect speed for the other guys to fly on and around him.
The four-ship now coming in for a loop. Looping once more. Showing the roll rate and the turn rate of the extra there as they pull out to come back onto the display line. Pulling up in unison. Smoke on. Continual smoke this time rather than dotty. And there's the double heart. That was the 2021 Global Stars.
Hi, it's Stu Bear from Airshow World, and I'm very proud to announce our sponsor, the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company. And for viewers of Airshow World, you can get 15% off from the world's best tea and coffee company. Plus, you'll be helping Airshow World grow. Just use the code Airshow. That's the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company. And coming up just a little bit later in the show, we've got more from Little Gransden. What a fantastic display we just had by the brilliant Global Stars. One of the best display teams I have seen for a long time. Hey, talking about display teams, definitely one of the best, if not the best, the pride of Great Britain. Here they are, the brilliant Red Arrows. This was the takeoff for this, and the first part of the display was from Odium. Then we're going to switch to a display at Duxford. In fact, my favourite display that I've ever taken with the Red Arrows. So that's coming up. Haven't featured the Red Arrows for a few weeks, so hey, make the most of it. Here they come. Coming up a little bit later, don't forget, so many different items coming up tonight. It's a Friday night, so what else have we got? We've got that special coming up with Airshow World followers, stay with us. Switching, staying with the Reds from Duxford 2016. And these skies, I think they were the best skies I've ever filmed the red arrows in. So definitely, as I said, enjoy this. And keep the messages coming in on the Friday night show. It's always good to see all the messages. And if you've never done that, hey, all you got to do is subscribe to Airshow World, and then you can take part in the chat room. And of course, it's all absolutely free.
Coming left now in a very difficult shape to fly. This is Swan.
Normally I'm turning the engine
Swan's red line is flying Joe Heston. He's in his third. Once again upside down to Detonator, they're going in, keep your eyes on Chippo. Their closing speed is coming up to 717 miles per hour. Point towards each other, get your cameras ready for the synchro pair and their first opposition pass maneuver. These are the opposition barrel rolls. Fighting hard against the G-force. They fly the Cyclone. Steve is in his fourth qualifying year as a Rolls-Royce pilot. across for Great Britain. Enid with red 8 and 9, drawing a fab. Red 6 there giving the commands for here, and red 7 to roll inverted and upright at different stages during the shot. Keep your eyes down for the line, the white smoke about to come on. This is the revolution.
We'll do the winkle roll. Everything just died.
Feet above the Cambridge skies, the white smoke comes on. Synchro getting ready to draw their famous heart. Keep your eyes to the top right of the heart. There comes red 9. He's going to draw a spear through the heart. Now I'd like to take this opportunity to be the first to congratulate Daxi and Tash on their engagements. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, on one knee in front of the commentary box, we have a proposal happening right now. Everybody! Now we see red 6 and 7 roll upside down in close formation. 8 and 9 match them directly underneath as they fly mirror. Coming right, the following pilots use a lot of rudder to swing the jets out in line astern like a pendulum. Normally we fly a formation with the odd-numbered pilots on the left and the even-numbered pilots who fly on the right, but in this shape it's the other way around. Reds 2 and 4 on the left, and reds 3 and 5 on the right. They want to switch back to their normal size where they feel more comfortable, so they do it like this. This is the slalom. The inflection in red one's voice, they're tightening on the nerve neck. He squeezes the formation to around 4G with some more red, white, and blue. Pilots on there, normal sides in the Now look straight ahead to flight 7. They then perform their own rolls. Get your cameras ready for the Jippo break. Red 6, he is chased down by red 9. These 4 jets now descending to just 100 feet. Their closing speed is a staggering 820 miles per hour. Cameras ready for the amazing Jippo pass. Benefit, they're about to draw a red, white and blue snake-like shape of smoke in the sky now as they fly the Python. It's 2, 3, 4 and 5 switching to white smoke as red 1 now uses black smokes in opposing 360 3 6G turns. Here comes synchro for the carousel. Please put your hands together for the synchro pair.
You can't beat them. That's the Red Arrows. Wonderful stuff. And hey, coming up right now, we've got something really different for you. Hope you enjoy this. Listen to this sound. Here we go. And last week I happened to literally stumble across this, and I thought, hey, this is a good video opportunity. So I thought I would film this, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And it's the sound as well, absolutely great. It was at a place called, well, the locals say Wyndham, but hey, we probably know it better as Wymondon. It's just near Norwich in Norfolk. And throughout the summertime, this actual train, it goes along the train line in between Wyndham and Durham. Listen to that. And normally on a Wednesday, Thursday and Saturday. So let me know if you like this sort of thing. It's just something a little bit different. And if you do, hey, you never know. We may get our cameras out and do a little bit more of this sort of thing. I have to admit, though, I know nothing about steam engines or trains or anything like that. But as you can see, this was from the little sign there. This was at Wymondon, and thoroughly enjoyed it. It was something great to see and great to hear as well. Okay, meanwhile, back to the aircraft. Coming up for you right now, a quick snippet from the live show that I did over at Odeum around about, what was it, 3 weeks ago? And coming up right now on Airshow World, it's that time of the show to find out what some of the Airshow World followers have been doing. And to start things off, our very own Ryan was over at Manchester Airport just a couple of weeks ago, and he very kindly sent me a few photographs across, and here's just a small sample of some of those wonderful shots that he actually took from over there at Manchester Airport. Ryan, absolutely beautiful shots, and thank you so much for sending those over. In fact, I was over at Manchester a few weeks ago for a live show. Now, what have we got? Hey, it's Guess the Location time. Those stepping stones should well and truly give it away. And I've got to say many thanks again to our very own Clive. Thank you so much, Clive, for sending this. So, guess the location. It's a beautiful location as well, isn't it? Just look at this. Well, there's certainly lots of hills. I think you'd call them peaks, wouldn't you? Does that give it away? So, answers in the chat room right now. You know where it is. I know where it is. And don't forget, if you'd like to take part in the Airshow World followers, all you have to do is just drop my good self an email. And in the subject, just put Airshow World followers, and I'll know what it's all about. If there's some photographs or a little bit of video you'd like me to feature on a Friday night, I will certainly do my very best. And to get in touch, that email address is stu, S-T-U, at airshowworld.com. Stu at airshowworld.com. It's as simple as that. And it'd be great to hear from you. Meanwhile, as I said, keep the messages coming into the chat room because, hey, we've got more action coming up for you, like right now. We're going to go back to Little Gransden and see some of the slightly, not so much on this section of the flying. We'll see some of the arrivals of the aircraft literally taxiing right past us. It was the very first time I actually visited Little Gransden for the air show, and I was absolutely bowled over. Wonderful. I couldn't believe how many aircraft actually were turning up in the morning. It was just incredible. And as you can see, when you go to Little Gransden, you are right next to the aircraft as they taxi by. But don't worry, we've got some air show footage from Little Gransden coming up in just a moment.
Absolutely brilliant aircraft, and just avionics in it are just perfect for the trip. And then I was just at the airport in Philadelphia, taking the hotel back to Russia. Working it all out, and but the support team was really great to come home, and they would tell me where to go, or I got sat on one morning really sat on the phone, and I could call my support team home and tell them where should I work to, or
Obviously, you talked about Russia, and it is such a place to fly. Looking at the map, it's an interesting country. Talk about some of the highlights.
And coming up for you in the next few weeks, look out for the full version of the Little Gransden air show. This is just a little tiny snippet that I put together tonight.
Las Vegas like 1 a.m. at night. It was really, really cool.
Just to give you a little bit of flavour of what's coming up. Don't forget, on Airshow World, there's over 1,000 different videos that you can watch. So keep on following Airshow World, and as I said, it's always great to read and see your comments.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is quite a bit faster once you're in the cruise.
And what's Pudsey Bear doing? Well, it's all in aid of charity. It's all in aid of children in need. So it's a great air show, and also it's a really good cause. Certainly worth going along, and hopefully I'll be there again next year. And when I say they taxi right next to you, they literally do. The camera doesn't do it justice. To get that shot, I had to go on the widest angle possible. So you really are very, very close when the taxi passed. And of course, as I said, keep watching Airshow World. You will be seeing the full video of this very, very soon. And also, I tell you what, I think on this show we've got the display of that particular aircraft coming up in just a moment. Right now though, I'll hand it over to the commentary team down there with Ben Dunnell.
This aircraft, part of the Rolls-Royce Heritage Flight, it's owned by Rolls-Royce themselves, based at East Midlands Airport.
With 30 horsepower, things moved a long way very quickly during the war.
And this aircraft is a late war veteran. It was delivered to the RAF Central Photographic Reconnaissance Unit at Benson in Oxfordshire, the home of so many RAF photo recce activities in wartime. In January 1945, it was stationed in both Belgium and the Netherlands with number 16 Squadron on PR operations. And it was one of the Spitfires that took part in the famed Operation Crossbow missions, seeking out the German Vengeance weapons V1 and V2 sites that would then be the subject of Allied air attack. Historic aircraft flight, which later became the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. Later it was sold by the RAF into civilian hands, subsequently passing into the ownership of Rolls-Royce, and it's been with them ever since for nearly 25 years now.
Oh no, they got 12 and a red card. They crossed the ball 4 times and the City crossed the ball 28 times.
Yeah.
P-51D Mustang. Additional fighters for the Royal Air Force. Selected the, at that stage, still to fly North American design over the likes of the already well proven Curtiss P-40, and how right a decision that proved. When the aircraft took to the air and first entered service, it was powered by the Allison V1710 engine. And while it was an excellent airframe, and the Allison was a very dependable power plant, and it, in Allison engine form, was an outstanding mount at low level in the Army cooperation and this aircraft, now in the colours of the famous 4th Fighter Group of the US 8th Air Force, based at Debden in Essex, and specifically the mount of its commanding officer, Colonel Don Blakesley. Blakesley flew more combat sorties than any other American fighter pilot. He only had one from the now Navy Wings Heritage Flight. The former Royal Navy Historic Flight aeroplanes, and some provided by associate private owners, and they include this Stinson Reliant, which is owned by Paul Kehoe, the former Chief Executive Officer of the likes of Birmingham International Airport and the Gulf Air Group. And the aim of Navy Wings is to preserve in flying condition examples of Britain's naval aviation heritage, now, as I say, under entirely civilian auspices. And this aircraft is one of those that's been representing them on the display circuit this season. Well, that design was constantly updated. The first few models, up to the SR6, had a straight wing, but then from the SR7 to the ultimate SR10, they switched to the gull wing configuration of design that we see on this one, which was introduced in 1938. 1,327 were built for civilian use, and yet more, including this one, for military operations.
Very much a gentleman's aerial carriage. It was quality. It was almost the business jet of today. They were luxurious inside, travelled long distances in comfort.
Yes, and a very capable aeroplane for military purposes. The US Army Air Corps and Army Air Forces of World War II impressed civil reliance, mostly as the UC-81 utility transport, and then came the AT-19, which was developed for the Fleet Air Arm of the Royal Navy as a navigation trainer known as the Reliant 1. Final pass from the Reliant.
What a beautiful aircraft, the Stinson Reliant. Absolutely super. Hey, we're going to go back in time right now. It's that part of the evening when we have a little bit of classic airshow footage, and that's what we're going to bring
runway
you.
27, cleared for takeoff and display. Surface wind 110 degrees, 4 knots.
Clear for takeoff and display goes group and display.
And it's going back to around about 2013.
That can,
He says,
Connie,
hopefully.
that's going to be landing after the Griffin finishes display.
Runway 27, cleared to land, wind 260 degrees, 2 knots.
Clear to land, runway 27, clear for display.
Hotel Sierra Charlie, runway 27, cleared to land, wind 210 degrees, 6 knots.
Nice taxi, Foxtrot North, Port 7004.
7004, taxi go for holding point 27. Eurofighter, good morning. Holding short, running 27, ready for departure for air display.
Eurofighter, Fairford Tower, line up runway 27.
Line up and wait, running 27, Eurofighter.
When vacated, hold position, and when ready for further taxi, contact ground 130.5.
Roger, so we can hold when we're clear of the runway in 1305, so we're set. Sierra Charlie, thank you very much.
Safe and beautiful aircraft.
Oh, thank you very much.
Ground Polish MiG, could you confirm rehearsal for me 1740?
Going to ground A first, 1644.
Polish MiG, request approval.
Thank you, and maximum height and altitude of your display.
Maximum altitude is 6,000 feet.
Roger, and horizontally, how many miles?
2.5 miles.
Roger, thank you.
down to land.
Roger, clear to land 260, less than 5.
Schmick, red taxi to holding point runway 27.
Polish MiG with the follow me vehicle, taxi Foxtrot North, runway 27. Polish MiG, squawk 7004.
Polish MiG, holding point runway 27.
Polish MiG, for tower, runway 27, line up.
Lining up, Polish.
MiG, runway 27, clear takeoff and display. The surface wind is 1307 knots.
Copy, wind 1307 knots.
Good afternoon, Spartan, ready.
Surface ground, start cruise, runway 27. Ready, 1023, GSB 1013.
23 copies on runway 27, Spartan.
Your maximum radius and altitude of your display.
Will be within 2 miles and 5,000 feet for Spartan, ready in 5 minutes to taxi.
Well, that just about wraps things up for another Friday night. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, every Friday night between 7 608. It's the Airshow World 60-minute show live from the studio. But hey, until next time, have yourself a great weekend. And if you want to continue the aviation theme, don't forget our good friends over there at Plane Talking UK podcast. They're live right now, so pop over and say hi to them over there and say, hey, Stu Bear sent you along. But until next week, have yourself a great week and we'll see you then. Good night.